we're in it again, boys. We're here for the summary of Lethal Company. So what is Lethal Company? Lethal Company is a horror game that is multiplayer that just basically says, hey, go to this planet, get scrap, get out, and then after 3 days or 3 maps, you get told to go to a company building to sell such scrap, and you have to hit a certain amount of money. There is lore behind it. So it looks like this is an AU of like World War II or like early 1920s. It looks like a lot of people. There was public work. I think GT Game Theory just finished this, I believe. Basically, it's just like instead of doing basic building public work, they make it to where they speed run moon bases going out into the universe, and they basically make it to where it's capitalism among the stars. And basically, throughout searching through all this stuff, they run into a lot of horrors. They run into war. They want to do like a whole scale war. Let's make it infinite warfare, dudes. And it's basically, we see like little things that like by World War II times, I think it was, or like it was like in the 1950s or 60s. We have a log from an early company character who he basically goes around, finds out all these things, understands the weaknesses and strengths, and it looks like he died to the ghost girl because he's not able to make a post about her. He probably thought it was just a little girl, and he died to it. But he's kind of like our tutorial guy. He's the guy who gives us background. He also explains that basically the beast known as Jiff that we give all the scrap to is kind of just like he's in a prison with the door unlocked. He's just thinking he's locked up, or like he knows the door is open, but he's just staying there because you're feeding him. He eats a lot of metals and all that, it looks like. And he's a planet eater because it sounds like there was, in the logs, there's a golden planet that existed, past tense, that looks like this thing called Beast ate most of the planet and most of the minerals. And they chopped it to avoid it going from planet to planet. So they slowly get as much stuff as possible to feed this thing as long as possible. Appetite grows every few days, you know. But this is a very short one, but it's just like it looks like we scaled up our early days, like early 1900s. We ran into like discovering the stars instead of our own planet. To fight among the stars in like actual war. Like Game Theory said that we had the idea to make the moon an actual base. That probably happened, and we did that among the stars. And to fight people among the stars, they created like the turrets, the landmines, and they made those horrors throughout the bunkers. In the logs for the coil heads, it's man-made, but it kills anything in sight. So what it looks like is like they strip whatever they can, they get all the stuff they want, they evade the moon, and they leave behind all these deadly creatures that enter this bunker, and they just get killed because it was a defense mechanic. And it's kind of like, it's like scorched earth. If people are going to take over what we want, if they're going to keep pushing us back, we're going to make it to where they can't make crops, they can't make decent land, so we scorch the earth. So they left all these lethal things behind, so whenever they try to enter enter to get materials and stuff, they died. And now that like it's been years later, we're dealing with the aftermath of all this lethal stuff, and we're supposed to deal with this big entity that no one knows what to do about. But there's one thing that is getting set up for a later on update, which is a drill or bomb that is underneath the company building that at some point you'll be able to put two apparatuses into to make it work, which should be like a quick game over, or like it may show you the full like what happened to everyone, because it's weird that we're a group of 4 going around not seeing another human being else than these like leftover horrors. Anyways, that was it for Lethal Company Explained. It's kind of just like a World War II, but in the stars that happened, and then now we're dealing with the aftermath of basically it's like nuclear material. You want to go in there and try to find anything that can be scavenged, and you try to do some cleanup, but it's kind of already too bad. But that's really it. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.